All right, good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Good Wednesday afternoon. I hope that you all can hear me. I have quite a different setup going on right now because we're going to be live streaming the status conference for Ethan Crumbley. He is the suspect in the Oxford High School shooting that happened on November the 30th, killing 4 students, injuring 7 others. He has 24 criminal charges, terrorism, one count of terrorism. Well, first of all, of course, he's been charged as an adult, but he has 1 count of terrorism, 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder, and then he also has 12 felony firearm charges as well, for a total of 24 charges that he has. So now I want to give you a quick update on what is happening with the case so that we can catch up on what should be happening or what we expect to be happening in the status conference on today. The case has now been transferred from the Oakland County Circuit Court, District Court in Rochester Hills, the 52nd District Court in Rochester Hills, and transferred to the Oakland County Circuit Court, which is a higher court. The proceedings are being handled by Judge Kwame Rowe at the Oakland County Circuit Court. In the previous hearing, he did reappoint Attorney Deborah McKelvey, as his attorney, legal guardian ad litem. She is his essentially a court-appointed guardian. Ethan Crumbley is a 15-year-old child and who does not have the benefit or access of his parents, who are also incarcerated under additional charges giving rise to his crime. So basically what the court has done, in light of the fact that he is a minor, is appointed him, or giving him a court-appointed guardian. She helps him to understand all of the legal proceedings, advocates on his behalf on certain things. So this is what is happening. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. If someone can just indicate in the chat, if you can indicate in the comments whether or not you guys can hear me. I want to make sure that my voice is coming through. It looks like everything is working on my end. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me in the audience as well. So that is what happened prior to that. When he was arraigned in circuit court on January the 12th. So now we're at the point of addressing the issue of his placement or his ongoing detainment. Is this the, let's see, hold on a second. Is this the cash? Is this the cash for Mr. Crumbley? I'm not sure if I understand the question. I don't understand the question. However, at the arraignment, the issue of his detainment comes under question. This is something that is required by law for minors who are incarcerated to determine if, I guess it's a situation where they have to reevaluate his detainment every 30 days. To my understanding, this is under the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act. So this is what we expect to be addressed in the status conference today. We don't expect it to be a long meeting. It is just between the prosecutors and the defense attorneys who are meeting with the judge. Mr. Crumbley will not appear in this hearing. And actually, it is a meeting. It's a status conference. And so this is simply to address the issue of placement or to schedule a hearing to address the issue of placement, and I guess to just update as to where the case stands and what is to follow. So we aren't even getting into the preliminary exams and all of that, as you well know. At the arraignment, who is the defense attorney, Patricia. Deborah McKelvey is a guardian ad litem. Patricia, let's see, hold on a second. Let me get her name really, really quick. Paulette Lofton, I'm sorry. Paulette Michelle Lofton is the defense attorney on behalf of Mr. Crumbley. She did re-enter a plea with the circuit court judge of not guilty. And so there is some interesting things happening with that as well that we are following. Mr. McGuire says the kid can sit there and rot. And a lot of people feel that way. You know, I mean, the thing is that his crimes are so egregious. So it's going to be interesting to hear how the judge handles his placement in the Oakland County Jail. This is what the defense attorneys and I'm sure the guardian ad litem are advocating for him to be moved back to Children's Village. However, at the district court level, the judge at the Judge Cardiac, did deem him a menace to other juveniles. Hi, Life's Magical Journey. Thank you, sis, for being here. He said this kid is crazy. Why isn't he guilty when he killed people? Well, this is the due process of the law. I mean, a judge or jury will ultimately determine his guilt or innocence. He does have a right to enter a plea of not guilty. I don't know why or how. What could possibly be the defense, which is part of what makes this case so intriguing. I don't know if they're going to plead insanity, but they're not making any moves toward any type of competency testing or psych evaluations or whatever, which is something that I assumed at the time. Then there's the issue of the parenting. They are also charging the parents in this case with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter each. So it's going to be interesting how this works out. This case is going to set precedents. This is a very unusual case. Normally, defendants are charged as co-defendants. In this case, they open up 2 separate case numbers for the parents, one for Ethan, one for the parents. And then in one respect, they're charging him as an adult, but they're also charging his parents or holding his parents responsible for his crimes. I guess in the sense of their purchase of the 9mm handgun gave rise to the crime itself, and certainly they are alleging that this minor had complete access to that firearm, and which allowed him to commit that crime. He says, Anthony McGuire says, no, he doesn't deserve Children's Village. He's in the proper placement. He belongs to stay in the county jail. If you guys let him out of the jail and put them back in the Child's Village, you guys are crazy because he's just going to kill more kids. Well, that's what the judge is going to determine if they are going to uphold the previous court's ruling that he is a menace to other juveniles. We have to remember he did commit his crimes against his peers. So this is going to be interesting. I did look at the brief submitted by the defense, and there is no precedence, there's no case law on this issue in terms of this particular situation where there's a mass murder. But what they are saying is that whatever case law is in place, that the mere fact of the egregiousness of his crime, it cannot be the sole reason for holding him in an adult facility, because children, they created this law because children who are charged as adults generally are targeted in adult facilities for rapes and other things. Kaylee Hayward, welcome everybody. If this is your first time here with us, yeah, because they bought the gun. Yeah, they definitely did that. And it's just going to be, it's a lot of things it's so much to unpack in this case. They are responsible. They bought the gun. Well, they're certainly trying to hold them responsible. And then you see his mom texting him, telling him, don't get caught, right? His mother is just as guilty. Kaylee Hayward, welcome. My question is, why was it nothing done when he was driving in his, or writing in his journal months before he did that? Well, that's what they're going to try and get to the bottom of. One of the things that the prosecution is saying is that the parents were fully aware. Not only was he mutilating animals in the home, he also had a journal that was out in full view in the family home, where he had drawings of guns and simulating killings and whatever that they are alleging in the by the prosecution. So they are claiming that these parents were fully aware of his thoughts, his mental status, and everything else. And I don't think that they have accused them of knowing that what he was going to do that particular day. However, they are saying that they should have certainly been aware of his mental status. My question is, why wasn't nothing done? Okay, I read that one. And the school and the cops, yes, refused to do anything prior. Yes, before he was charged, right then and there, before the drawings that states what he was going to do to people. Let me address that really quick. Not only that, how many more school shootings has happened since he has done this, and it has been blasted all over the news. Yeah, these school shootings are going on all the time. As a matter of fact, a lot of them don't even get any press. Why didn't the parents do anything to get him help? Well, of course, they're going to answer that legally. But let's talk about the school and calling in the parents prior to the hours before the shooting. The school is liable. Let me just say that. Now, you have a couple of parents, two sisters, I believe, who were both injured that day in the shooting. Jeffrey Feiger is handling that case. That's $100 million case or something like that. However, there is a such thing as called paternal. Well, there's a couple of things that should have been at play with what they caught him doing, coupled with what he did the day before, which was, search for ammunition, looking on his cell phone for ammunition in class the day before. Then fast forward to the next day, then he's drawing images of the killing. And so when the teacher caught him, the teacher did right by turning him over to the school counselor, taking him to the office, to wherever. However, the school counselor deemed it serious enough to order the parents to have him in mental health counseling within 48 hours. Everybody remembers that. What they did do is suspend him until that mental health treatment was secured. They seem to suggest that, or reportedly suggest, that they asked the parents to take him home and they refused to. Reportedly it was the mother who refused to take him home, so they sent him back to class. But there's a such thing. Number one, there is a duty to report. Anytime that you have someone who has homicidal or suicidal ideations, you have a duty. School officials, mental health professionals, whether it's a school counselor, whomever he was turned over to, had an obligation to report that he was having those problems. Even if they weren't aware of the gun, even if they weren't aware of any previous behaviors or whatever he did in school that day alarmed them enough for them to order the parents to get him mental health treatment. The other thing is there is a such thing called paternalism. Paternalism in the mental health field allows officials, certainly mental health professionals, and school officials, authorities, police, and all of those things to take authority not only over the child, but also over the parent. What does that mean? That means that the parent shouldn't have had a choice whether or not he stayed in school that day. He should have been sent home. He should have been suspended. And that's my opinion of it, according to what we know about what's going on so far. Kaylee says, if his parents knew about all of this prior, why would they even buy a gun with that behavior at home? Exactly. This is the thing. This is why this is just, I don't know if it's recklessness or neglect or just a combination of it all. He shouldn't have never had that gun if he was doing half the stuff that they are alleging. Catherine Waymaster, welcome in. She says he is in an adult jail facility, but he is not in general population. No, that's against the law to house juvenile offenders with the adult population. So that's one of the things that they should be covering today. Kelly says, according to the press, his mother was told to leave work to go take him home, and she refused. Yeah, that is what they are alleging. But again, the school had an obligation as well. They can take authority over a parent in a situation, especially when you're talking about someone that could be potentially harmful to themselves or others. And he certainly displayed that enough for them to order him into mental health treatment. Kaylee says mental health is a major issue with teens in school. It really is. I had a conversation with an early childhood development specialist who owns a daycare here in Michigan. And you guys should go back and check that out. It's called Menace to Society. It has Ethan Crumbley's pictures on it. Very good information on there about teen mental health. And actually early warning signs of mental health. What happened to the death penalty? I don't think we have the death penalty. Do we have the death? I don't think we have the death penalty in Michigan anymore. So I'm going to take a break for just a moment, guys. I want to get us logged into the meeting. I actually went a little longer than when I started. They are planning to start the hearing at 2 p.m. So I want to make sure that we are logged in, and hopefully this stream will come through. If not, I will upload it after, but I am going to try and get it pulled all the way through, hopefully. Okay, so we are still waiting on them to get started. I just wanted to pop on and let you guys know that we are still here waiting on them to get the conference going. I still don't see them. They still have not started, but we'll continue to watch and wait. I don't expect it to be a long meeting. Again, they should only be providing a conference status on the case and addressing the issue of placement based on the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act. The Juvenile Justice Delinquency and Prevention Act. This is what the issue is. This law requires them to determine if the adult placement is safe for a minor, because they are targeted, of course, by the adult inmates for various things. So that issue has to be addressed. And I believe, according to the law, that has to be addressed like every 30 days or something like that. Right now, Ethan has been, he was on suicidal watch, according to the brief. I will share the brief. If you guys look in the description box, you can go into my buy me a coffee thing. It's a private chat area where I'm uploading a lot of the court documents and things like that, additional content on the case. And so you can go in and read through. There's quite a bit there already. However, to my understanding, he has been taken off of suicide watch. He was assigned a deputy under constant watch of a particular deputy. That deputy has been removed. So he's not showing any type of psychological issues as it stands right now, according to what is being reported in the motion by the defense to have him moved back to the Children's Village. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to step back out of the camera again and go ahead and let's see if they are going to get started anytime soon. I'm still in the chat. You can continue to make comments and I will respond as I see your comments come through.
Sorry, of course, we're having technical difficulties.
Recording in progress.
The Oakland County Circuit Court is now in session with the Honorable Kwame Rowe presiding. The Honor, the people of the state of Michigan versus Ethan Crumbley, 2022-279-506 FC.
Good afternoon, counsel. Appearances for the record. We'll give you your appearance. Please indicate whether or not you sent the Zoom this afternoon.
Thank you, Mark Peace, on behalf of the people consent, Judge.
Good afternoon, I'm Kelly Collins, appearing on behalf of the people and the people who consent to Zoom.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Williams, also appearing on behalf of the people and the consent.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Paulette Michelle Lofton on behalf of Mr. Crumbley. I will waive his presence for today's hearing. We do consent to proceed by Zoom.
And
I didn't know whether Ms. Hopp was there, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Good afternoon, I'm Deborah to McCallie, court-appointed guardian ad litem for Ethan Crumbley, and I consent to Zoom today.
okay, and just give us 1 moment. It appears that Ms. Hopp is still trying to log on here. Okay, we're just gonna, apparently she's having some technical difficulties. She was in the waiting room and she just left, so I'm just gonna give her a second to try to log back on.
I did send her a message, so I'll let you know if she responds.
Thank you, Ms. Lofton. Back in the waiting room. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and proceed because we set a date. So today's date and time is set for a status conference in this matter. Court did set this for a status conference, so we could set a, and my apologies, Ms. Hopp is now logging on. And just for the record, Ms. Hopp, your name?
Amy.
Thank you, Ms. Hopp. The court did have have an off-record discussion with all counsel. The court is going to set this matter for a hearing according to the Juvenile and Delinquency Act. We're going to set this hearing on February 22nd, 2022 at 2 p.m. That hearing will be in person. The parties are to brief the issue of whether or not there can be media coverage throughout the entire hearing when there is, I would put it as sensitive information that may be placed on the record. And so the parties are going to brief that issue, and those briefs are due by January 25th, 2022 at 4 p.m. Is there anything else from either party?
Not from the people. Thank you, Judge.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much, and we will see you all back on February 22nd, 2022 at 2 p.m. And then I will be expecting briefs.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, like I said. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
You as well.
We have the briefs that were submitted from the arraignment on January the 12th. The briefs on the issue of placement had to be submitted by January the 19th, which is today. And it was submitted on yesterday, the prosecution's argument as well as the defense's argument. The prosecution, of course, wants to keep him at the Oakland County Jail, and the defense wants to have him move back to Children's Village. Yeah, this is crazy, Mr. McGuire. It is absolutely crazy. The child needs all the help he can get. Well, that is what they are saying. However, again, you have to look at the crime that was committed. Not it, in conjunction with other things. If he has a prior history of criminal justice, criminal involvement with the criminal justice system. Of course, he hasn't. He didn't have any behavior issues in school prior to, or anything like that. Now, I did see some things where other students were saying that he may have been potentially bullied in school, but that has not been used in these proceedings as it stands so far. Mr. McGuire says, have you guys questions? What's going on in his life at home or at home? Yeah, I was going to say I have quite a bit of documents, evidence that have been submitted to the courts from the prosecution as they go through the discovery that is quite enlightening as to what all was going on in that home. And again, this is why the parents are being charged. If you go through, it's quite a bit of information on the Buy Me a Coffee. You'll find that link in the description box. I also dropped it in the chat. If you are interested in following this case, I'm also going to do some op-eds on it as well. And so that's there. There needs, let's see, that's not a complete statement. Like what's going on in the court, Justice, he's guilty. He deserves to do the time. He did the crime, but because his placement is correct, he should be in prison. Yeah, but the thing of it is, again, it's about him being a minor. It's about him being a minor. They did change the laws as it relates to minors who are charged as adults for crimes. They said he killed a bird and had his head in a jar in his room for 3 months. I heard 6 months. If you go into my Buy Me a Coffee and look at the documents, it indicates that that jar was in his room for 6 months, or that bird head was in the jar. Yeah, and there's some other things, some other behaviors that were going on that seem to have, I don't know what the parents were doing. If he was bullied, he should have went to the principal and opened his damn mouth, and it's not that hard. Yeah, I mean, but again, if he has mental issues, this is the thing. As healthy people, we can make those kinds of assumptions. If a person has mental illness and they are deficient in their coping skills, their capacity to handle stress, to conflict resolution, and things like that. It is not that simple. So again, it's going to be very interesting how this case plays out, because he still has to, answer to the crimes that he committed. I mean, these children lost their lives. Again, but then they are charging the parents as well. So I don't know how that is going to work out. I was bullied for years in elementary school, so that's no excuse. Yeah, we were all bullied, certainly. But these kids now, the difference is they have access to guns. I was at the school in Warren called Fitzgerald when a girl got stabbed in and killed because her boyfriend cheated on her with another girl. Yeah, all of these things are nothing new. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much. The real question is when is the school going to realize that they need to put metal detectors in every school and every damn entrance, or does there need to be more shootings and killings as schools will realize it is not enough? I think enough is enough with the kids. If I can't send my child or a nephew or niece in the school to get the proper education, how are they ever going to be anything, because the school is unsafe to send them they're safer at home. Yeah, one of the things that happened in the school board meeting with Oxford High School is the parents who previously these schools typically did not want metal detectors, especially in suburban areas. Now they are the parents are now absolutely advocating for it, because again, the parents didn't notify the school of the gun purchase and all of that stuff. Had they had a metal detector, he never would have gotten in that school with that gun. Also, clear transparent see-through backpacks and all of these types of things that they're going to implement. I'm using speech text. I know that autocorrect can mess you up sometimes. Yeah, that's okay, Mr. McGuire. It's all right. I got you. Catherine Waymaster says 2 juveniles escaped from Children's Village in November. Yes. Also, for Ethan's protection, there are other Oxford kids at Children's Village. You know what, Catherine, you are absolutely right. And that is one of the issues that the prosecution brought up in the original arraignment when he had him pulled from Children's Village. Because remember now, he was taken there initially when they arrested him. The prosecution at the arraignment requested that he be moved to the Oakland County Jail. And one of the things that he said is because it is not as secure at Children's Village, and they had some recent escapes. So that was an issue. So again, they were supposed to adjust displacement issue today. The judge didn't mention it. Judge Kwame Rowe. This case is now in the Circuit Court of Oakland County. So we'll keep following it and see what's going on. I thank you guys for your patience today. And I hope that you will continue to follow us. If you are interested, please hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications so that you know when I'm going live. I'm going to be covering this case throughout its entirety. I hope that they will continue to allow us to have media access so that we can continue to bring the live streams and things like that. They did have technical difficulties today. The meeting was 40 minutes late, but I appreciate everyone that stuck around today. Check for all of those links in the description box again, and please give us a thumbs up and all of that. It helps my algorithms as well. Thank you to all of my sisters that are here. Life's Magical Journey, Natural Larisha, and my brother's House of X Entertainment. Thank you guys so much, and I hope that you guys have. Let's see, Catherine says he was not bullied. He had many friends. Yeah, it was some video that I saw that said that he had, but I haven't heard that word used in the proceedings at all, even from the defense. They haven't said anything about him being bullied at all. So I don't know what's going to come up prior to getting to trial. That's the other thing. Once we get past this placement stuff, the case should go on straight to trial, because at the arraignment with the circuit court on January the 12th, Ethan did forego or waive his rights to a preliminary exam. So the case will proceed directly to trial. So this case should go fairly quickly. I think the parents' case may drag out a little longer than Ethan's case. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm a social worker. So we'll see what happens. How do I keep requests when you got live? When you go live, like get alerts. Hit the subscribe button, Mr. You're on Facebook. Like the Facebook page. Like the page, the Community Advocate Network of Michigan. Like the page and hit follow. Hit follow on Facebook. That way, when I schedule a live, you'll get the alert. Hopefully. Sometimes the platforms don't send out the notifications the way that they are supposed to. Okay, he says, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Mr. McGuire, and everyone else, Ms. Waymaster, all of you guys that joined me. I saw someone named Lisa. Okay, great. So thank you, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. And we'll see you as the case progresses. Of course, I'm going to continue the coverage, but we will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Take care. Enjoy more of our videos on the Community Advocate Network channel, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to advertise your service, special announcement, or event, you may contact us at the Community Advocate Network at gmail.com. For community resources or services, visit our website at www.cammichigan.com.